How you doing, guys? This is Richie, and today, Marshal Law. This came out in 1987. I was in high school, and I did not pick this up right out the gate. I didn't get around to this till the early 90s. In the 80s, I was pretty much just reading Marvel, but other things caught my eye, but I didn't get to this till later on. So Pat Mills, Kevin O'Neill, who's deceased, died of cancer probably a couple years ago. Fantastic cartoonist. This is a great cover. I love the colors. I mean, this is like an insane suit. It's like a BDSM, like torture suit. Like, it's just such an odd look. And the whole comic book is odd. It's just like a joke on superheroes. And this came out before well, obviously before The Boys, but you could definitely tell this heavily influenced The Boys. And also the Brat Pack by Rick Veitch, which I believe came out in 91. But yeah, let's take a look. All right, so it's like a post-apocalyptic war zone. And great coloring, man. These colors are just bright and vibrant. I wonder how he did that. Because Kevin O'Neill did it all. Inked, penciled, coloring, because he's the only name under artist. So it starts off, after the big one destroyed San Francisco. After the zone ended in a stalemate, after superheroes came home. So I superheroes were like genetically engineered and sent out to fight wars. But when they came back, I guess they went crazy. Or most of them, or a lot of them. A masked man's following me. Can you tell me where the nearest police precinct is, please? And the guy says, no, sorry, it's a secret. And this, which I think is great, the Shadow. Now, she isn't a superhero. She's dressed up as one of the superheroes. So she doesn't have any superpowers. So this guy's like refusing to help her. There's a killer stalking women, killing women specifically that look like this superhero. So she's about to fall victim. And here he is. Midnight assaults ending in murder were common. There were usually 2 murderers a day. Arson was frequent. Prostitution and its earnings was a way of life. Robbery is a spectator sport. So look at that. It's like a mixture of like Lord of the Rings with the Unknown comic. He's got a paper bag over his head. Probably a lot of you wouldn't even know the Unknown comic that was from the Gong Show from the 70s and 80s. Leave me alone, you bastard, she says. And so he does her in. Well, no, he doesn't do her in. He grabs her, tears off some of her clothing. And whereas he says, I'm bacteria. He calls himself bacteria. I'm the lowest form of life. I am a superhero. I see the world through I can't even see what that says. It's tough for me to read with my old eyes when the letter boxes are colored. Because you really piss me off. Why me? He says, because you really piss me off. So it looks like he gouged her eyes out. Or she's crying and that's makeup. She says, no, I'm not Celeste. I'm just dressed like her. I'm a stripper, Graham. He goes, you're a superhero. And all superheroes should fly. So he tosses her off the building. And obviously she can't fly. And here's the panels showing her coming crashing down. So also present, the recently retired Dr. Shock, driving force behind Shock. Superhero operational command and control. So this guy, they call him, what is he, like the almost hero? Like he was almost a superhero. And the only thing that's super about him is he's got a tail. Still no area to the store police except in armored convoys where justice is dispensed by gangs of superheroes, ex-shock troopers from the zone. Gangrene. So here's your antagonist. Gangrene. I mean, it's meant to be corny. But again, with this almost, like BDSM, is that what it is? The way those outfits that they wear, those masks. Bright green, like crazy colors, and these are all his cohorts. That's a pretty cool mask right there. That's pretty scary. But they're all freaks. And they're going to chase this guy down. He goes, get the freak, Gangrene. So they chase him down. But I wouldn't have felt like a hero without one. Without his tail, he means. Ran from the scene, swallowed hard when asked if he was the sleep man. So the killer is the sleep man. The serial killer. Then they're saying he looks pale, he looks nervous, he looks guilty. So I guess that's what they go by, when you're in this crazy superhero world. Nuke me slowly, it says on his cape. And there's the tail. This is giving us superheroes a bad name. Wow, look at that. What a great splash page. So this is Marshal Law's vehicle that he drives around. But if you look real close right there, you can see there's a little Batman right there. I don't know what that's supposed to be or if it's just a painting on the vehicle. But the clouds, man, they look great. Look at that. I'm a hero hunter. Haven't found any yet. So he doesn't consider any of these people heroes. A lot of people say I take my job too serious. I should go easy on the capers. So they call them capers. Allow them to let off steam. It's just hijinks. But they're like brutal murderers. I'm a reasonable guy. Sure, I give him a break. I fire a warning shot in the air first. Wow, look at that. This is real impressive, man. Kevin O'Neill. What a shame. He wasn't that old neither. Cancer got him. So, Gangrene's pointing to Marshal Law and he says, Cape Killer, you dead. The bad old days, the bad new days, we've come full circle. So he's going to rescue this guy. And he beats up Gangrene's buddies, punches Gangrene in the face. He says, okay, it's true, man. It's difficult to draw this, man. Like, I wonder how long it took him to do each of these issues. So the first is a 6-part miniseries. And I don't have any of the other ones. I believe there's a couple more miniseries. I think it jumped to Dark Horse because this is Epic, Marvel's line of creator-owned books that were more adult-like. But for 1987, this was probably a tough sell because you can't sell it to kids. He says, I hate the way they look. I hate. So they were able to get him down. What were they ordered to do? They shocked him. Volt the gook. Volt the gook. I hate. Impulse sends impulse through my thin nerve fibers. What they turned us into. Shut the gate. Shut the gate. Hotline beats it through my spinal pain gate. So I think they have trouble, these heroes and these villains, they can't feel pain. Feel pain again. I'm the one. Thanks, guys. So he's pretty strong. He lifts up a car and tosses it at him. Dr. Shock gave us superpowers to win the war. Worst of all, he gave us power over pain. If you can't perceive pain, you want to inflict it to see what you're missing. You become capable of anything. So I guess that's what's turning these guys. It's turning them, evil. There's just something missing out of their lives. And when you're numb to pain, can't feel anything, capable of doing anything. I knew it wasn't sorry. The guy who did this was a real hero. I need to feel pain. So he's calling Meat Wagon to California and Grant before gangrene sets in. Can't stay here, he says, I'll take you to the midnight. Now, the police precincts are like hidden away. And that's where he operates out of, is one of the police precincts. And there's a priest there and a couple of his workmates. Now, I'll wait till we get to the next issue to talk about this guy. I have souvenirs of all the superheroes. It's my hobby, all the famous ones. So he collects like superhero memorabilia. Back to the Screaming Eagles in the Zone. They were the greatest. And he says they were. I'm assuming he was one of them. From the Panama Canal Zone to the Amazon jungle, it was known simply as the Zone. To men not afraid to die because they are already dead. Captain Curfew, are you teaming up with Marshal Law now? It's so ridiculous. I think what they call each other, just the whole premise of this book is just ridiculous. Told you, Marshal, I had to go. And with the practical problems of wearing your underwear over your tights. He goes, shut up. So, he's taking him into the precinct. Jingle, spurs are jingling. And here's the priest. It's just crazy. That red, though, man, that's real deep red. He goes, carton of milk, loaf of bread, 2 Mr. Frosty chicken dinners, pint of chocolate chip, and a pack of Twinkies. So, Father O'Brien's telling him there's been another murder from Sleep Man, the guy with those long fingers. He goes, superheroes, they used to be a decent neighborhood until they moved in. I mean, you look at the state of him now. This poor guy. So he asked the priest, can he stay here? And the priest says, yeah, of course. And it will be okay. I looked after him. So now he drives cave cops. That's what they call us when we work out of secret police precincts. Mine's the Bart Bay Area Rapid Transport. I use several roundabout routes to it. I don't encourage visitors. So he leaves dead bodies behind and masks of dead superheroes. So if anybody does stumble across where he's at, they think twice about coming in after him. So here's one of his partners here. Danny, fix this slug. It's a hotline, nasty, careless. Commissioner McLean on 2. So this is the commissioner, which is his boss. Man, this is really heavy on the prose. Gangrene, I want to see my new costume getting stars sewn on. He goes later. So he's asking about gangrene, and he says, well, then they're the wrecking crew, the suicides, brute force, neighborhood hoods. He's naming off all the gangs, the skin jobs, group therapy, and bad energy. Will seize their chance, not to mention the ammo zones. He goes, cool. So here comes Gangrene. He's trying to infiltrate his cave. Doctors say I'm suffering from post-combat syndrome. So when you see it in green, it's Gangrene talking. When you see it and not talking, thinking to himself. When you see the blue, it's Marshal Law. Wow, look at this. And try to bring you down, make you look small. What they need is a smack in the mouth. Doc says to me, I'm not a pathologist, you know. I expect my patients to talk back. He smiles, and I feel like smacking him in the mouth. So that's his inner dialogue. Yeah, he's crazier than a shithouse rat. But look at the body here. One of the deceased heroes, and it's pointing, says, go back. I like that pink, that stale blood all over. Because, man, I suggest a vertical insertion if it's painful. So they shoot a bazooka round at them, at Gangrene. And they're just the symptoms. I'm after the disease. So, great ending page there. Great book, man. Great coloring. Probably ahead of its time. You know, fantastic artist. You know, when I read books like this again, then I want to go out and search all their old stuff. So he had worked with Alan Moore. And I'm curious about this Nemesis, these Nemesis books. It's from that 2000 AD. But I'm not sure if they were released in comic book form or if they're just like big hardcovers now. I got to look into that, but I'd like to pick up some of those. So anyway, Marshal Law 2 is coming next, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.